What's up everybody, MYSTACLES here, and today we're going to be talking about Retron 5, my favorite clone console to play with. I'm going to tell you what it is, what all it can do, and why you need one in your retro game collection. Let's check it out. So in this week's video, we're going to continue in a topic on modern retro gaming. And specifically, we're going to be talking about the Retron 5. I really like this clone console. I haven't tried a whole lot. I have looked forward to that one that John Hancock was showing off a little bit ago. I forget the name, but I like that it had AV cords and HDMI. That way you could do your light gun games if you want to, or just still play on CRT for other reasons still if you want to. Lead me right to the topic that the Retron 5, it does not have any AV option, so you will not be playing any light gun games on your Retron 5. It is also not compatible at all with flash cards, such as Mega drives, flash drives, whatever you want to call them. It is not compatible with them all. Same thing with repos, hacks, any of these types of games, it's not compatible with it. It is supposedly not compatible with a few other games. I haven't found any yet. You can look it up online. The list is very small and I didn't recognize any of them on the list, but it is out there. And one of the coolest things about the Retron is going to be how you're going to play it. This thing has every option you want for controllers, and the controller it comes with, you're going to want to immediately throw it in the garbage as soon as you get it. This is not a good controller. I haven't tried their Admiral 64 controller yet. The reviews are, back and forth. I ended up going for the Retro Fighters Brawler controller. I've been enjoying that. But as far as controllers go, I haven't been too impressed with Hyperkin so far. But if you got any of your regular controllers from your old school consoles, you can plug them right in and play them. No problem. You can even use other old school controllers from all your other consoles to play. That's what they kind of love about it. If you want to play Double Dragon Battletoads with a Sega Genesis controller, it's not a problem. You can do it here. You want to play Super Mario World with the NES controller, you can't do that because you don't have enough buttons. But you can use the Sega Genesis controller, and vice versa. You can also use the Super Genesis on the NES. Also, you can obviously use the NES. You can also use the NES for your Game Boy games, since those are only 2 buttons to begin with anyway, as well. But as you're seeing right here, you can plug any of the controllers into any of the ports and use them on any of the games and you can plug into on the Retron 5. And that leads us right into the games. What all can you play on the Retron? We're talking about NES, SNES, Famicom, Super Famicom, Genesis. There's also an adapter out there where you can play Sega Card, Sega Master System, and Sega Game Gear. You can play your regular Game Boy games, your Game Boy Color games, your Game Boy Advance games. They should have called this thing the Retron 10, the Retron 9, whatever that equals up to be. That's a lot of consoles on one clone console. And of course it comes with all the different bells and whistles when it comes to features that you would expect nowadays with a clone console. All the different picture images you may want to choose from. Add your scan lines, remove your scan lines, pixel perfect image. All the different options are there that you can feel free to choose from. I usually use the scan line, pixel perfect effect. And of course also you're going to get access to save states. And for me, nowadays, that's a must. I don't get a whole lot of time nowadays to sit down and practice a lot of these harder SNES, NES, Genesis games that I really didn't get a lot of time with back in the day, but I'm still really interested in. So save states are a must. Being able to save it wherever I want, whenever I want, multiple save states across one file. You know, it loads right up every time I go to play it again. That's one thing I love playing the Retron for nowadays. It's such a modern convenience. Don't get me wrong, I got all my old school consoles. I still plug them in and play them. But for my main TV in my living room, where my friends come over, if there's a whole bunch of people, I can't fit everybody in my game room. I just want to pop down for a second and be able to play a game real fast, not have to switch around between different consoles that are plugged in. I only keep one or two old school consoles plugged in at a time. So having this thing allows me to be able to pop in something real fast, play it, or even just test it. That's a big thing for me, is just be able to test things with this console. Even if it's, if I think it may be, a fake or a hack or a repro or anything like that, I just pop it right into here, and if it doesn't read it off the bat, I know I gotta open it up. There's so many different things you can use this console for. If you need to be doing game capture, if you're doing YouTube, if you just like capturing your gameplay, this thing's super useful. Captures really easy, the footage looks great, and it looks great on a TV. I play it downstairs on a 55-inch TV, and I feel like it looks really great. I'm a pretty casual player, so some people would look at it and say maybe it doesn't look the best. I think it looks acceptable. And as far as gameplay goes, I have no complaints when it comes to the Retron 5. All the games that I've tested on this thing over the past couple years have showed no signs of extra stutter or slowdown. When you play it in widescreen, it still looks great. It doesn't stretch out the sprites or stretch out the background textures or anything. You can have the option to play it in 419 or whatever resolution, whatever pixel style you want. And I'd also like to mention that this console is updatable via the SD card on the back, so compatibility for flash cards in the future may be coming. So final thoughts on the Retron 5. Going into 2023, I think it's almost a must-have for any retro gamer. Not every retro gamer is going to be worried about being able to play it on their HD TV, being able to play this many different types of games on the fly. Maybe they don't collect for this many different types of console. So, for me, it's a must-have. If you're interested in, starting to collect, but you don't want to deal with a whole bunch of different consoles and everything, getting a CRT, but you want to play some of the highlights that you remember when you were a kid, I think it's awesome. Now, price, it's not cheap. 150 or 160 bucks on Amazon. I think it's like 165 for the blue one. You see I got the black one here. Luckily, I got mine probably 2 years ago on Craigslist for about 40 bucks. I bought it with a box of other game stuff, and I didn't even know what it was at the time. The guy threw it in there extra. He said, I thought you'd be interested. I was like, okay, yeah, cool. Definitely checked it out. And with the added ability to be able to use any different controller that you may want to use on any different game, I think that's awesome. Being able to play the Game Boy games, the Game Gear games, that's super cool. Save states whenever you want. Being able to add the patches to import games, to, add the English translation patches to them. I mean, it's 150, 160 bucks, but really, you can't beat it in the long run. That's going to open up a whole different frontier of games for you. So Retron 5, for me, is a must-own. 2022, going into 2023. Let me know what you think about it. You think about getting one? You already have one? What do you like about it? What do you hate about it? Put it in the comments below. I want to hear from you. I'm MYSTACLES. Stay safe out there.